And this was how they burned $450 million on a fake AI that was really hundreds of exhausted Indians slaving away in a hidden sweatshop. You see, the smartest computer on planet Earth has a heartbeat, a mortgage, and sleeps 4 hours a night on a dirty mattress. You were told that artificial intelligence is a magical brain floating in the cloud, capable of solving all your problems in a microsecond. But what if I told you that the cloud is just a sweatshop and the magic brain is actually 5,000 guys named Steve typing until their fingers bleed? We just watched $450 million vanish into thin air because Silicon Valley forgot the most basic rule of economics. Robots don't get tired, but humans definitely do. Let me take you into a room. The air smells like expensive cologne and desperation. This is the office of a man we will call the architect. He is young. He wears a t-shirt that costs more than your car. He is standing in front of a screen, and in front of him are the richest people in the world. These investors have checkbooks that can buy small countries. The architect is pitching them the dream. He tells them he has built a machine that can build other machines. He says, "You don't need coders anymore. You don't need engineers. You just talk to my AI, Natasha, and she builds your app for you instantly." The investors are drooling. They are seeing dollar signs. They hate paying engineers. Engineers are expensive. Engineers take lunch breaks. Engineers have opinions. If this guy has a robot that does the work for free, that is pure profit. They throw money at him. $10 million, $50 million, $450 million. They pile the cash so high you can't see the floor. The architect smiles. He takes the money. He goes out and buys a mansion in London. He buys fast cars. He tells the world he is the future. But there is a secret door in his office, and if you open that door, you don't see a server room. You don't see flashing lights and supercomputers. You see a dark, hot room thousands of miles away in India. And in that room, there is no AI. There is no Natasha. There are just dudes, hundreds of them, sitting at cheap desks, sweating through their shirts, staring at screens. Here is how the magic trick worked. A customer in New York opens the app. They type, "I want to make an Uber for dog walkers." They hit enter. A loading bar pops up on their screen. It says, "AI is processing your request." It spins and spins. The customer thinks the computer is thinking. The customer is wrong. The moment they hit enter, a red light flashes in that hot room in India. A tired developer gets a notification. He sighs, he cracks his knuckles, and he starts coding like a maniac. He is manually dragging and dropping boxes. He is copying and pasting code. He is racing against that loading bar. The artificial intelligence was actually just human intelligence, but paid very, very poorly. This is the juicero of the AI world. Remember that? The $400 juice machine that just squeezed a bag you could squeeze with your hands? This is worse. This is a $400 million lie that claims to be the future while relying on the labor practices of the past. The architect called it human-assisted AI. That's a fancy way of saying we are faking it. Imagine you go to a restaurant. You order a meal from a robot chef. You pay extra because it's cool. But back in the kitchen, the robot is just a cardboard box, and inside the box is a guy named Dave making your sandwich. That is exactly what happened here. And for a while, it worked. It worked because the investors didn't want to look in the box. They were too busy counting their paper gains. The valuation of the company skyrocketed. The architect was on the cover of magazines. He was a genius. He was a visionary. But here's the problem with using humans to pretend to be robots. Humans don't scale. If you double your users, a computer doesn't care. It just uses more electricity. But if you double your users in this scam, you have to hire double the amount of guys in the back room. You have to pay double the salaries. You have to buy double the coffee. The cracks started to show. The AI started getting slow. Customers would ask for an app, and the loading bar would spin for 3 days. Why? Because the guy in India was sick, or he quit, or he fell asleep. the code started coming back full of bugs. Why? Because you cannot code a masterpiece in 5 minutes while pretending to be a supercomputer. The internal chats at the company leaked, and they were hilarious. It wasn't code, it was panic. Managers screaming, "The client is waiting, type faster, pretend to be the bot." It was a digital sweatshop disguised as a neural network. Now pause. You need to understand why this matters to your wallet right now. We are standing on the edge of the biggest financial bubble in history. Everyone is screaming AI to get your money. They're selling you magic beans. If you cannot tell the difference between a real robot and a guy in a box, you are going to get slaughtered in this market. This is the only place that gives you the X-ray vision to see through the hype. You need to protect your income and your future from these fakes. Smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Do it now. Do it so you are the one laughing when the bubble bursts, not the one crying. Okay, back to the boiler room. The money is running out. Burning $450 million takes a lot of effort, but the architect was good at it. He was spending money on marketing, on parties, on growth. He wasn't spending it on the product. Why would he? The product was a lie. This is where the grime meets the grandeur. You have the architect giving a keynote speech at a massive tech conference, wearing a suit that costs $5,000. He is talking about synergy and algorithmic breakthroughs. At the exact same moment, one of his algorithms, a 20-year-old kid in Mumbai, is eating instant noodles for the 3rd time this week, wondering if he's going to get paid. The investors finally started asking questions, not because they were smart, but because the math stopped working. They looked at the profit margins. Software companies are supposed to have high margins. You write the code once, you sell it 1,000,000 times. It costs almost nothing. But this company, their costs were massive. Every time they sold a subscription, they lost money because they had to pay the humans. It turns out slavery is illegal, so you actually have to give people money to work. Who knew? The bubble pops, the lawsuits start flying, the articles come out, the Wizard of Oz moment, the AI that wasn't, and everyone acts shocked. Oh my God, how could we have known? Stop. Don't let them off the hook. They knew. In the world of venture capital, there's a saying, fake it till you make it. It's the religion of the tech world. They believe that if you lie big enough and long enough, eventually the technology will catch up to the lie. They thought, okay, we're using humans now, but in 5 years we'll figure out the robot part. It's like selling tickets to a flight to Mars, putting everyone on a bus to Arizona, and hoping you can build a rocket ship before they notice the scenery hasn't. Builder.ai is just the first domino. There are thousands of startups right now claiming to have proprietary algorithms. They don't. They have an Excel spreadsheet and an intern. They're raising money at billion-dollar valuations based on a promise that is physically impossible. They are selling you a self-driving car that is being driven by a dwarf hiding under the dashboard. But here's the twist, the dark, cynical truth that nobody wants to say out loud. The architect won. You think this is a story about failure? No, this is a story about a heist. The company might collapse, the name might become a joke, but the money, the $450 million, that money is spent. It is in real estate. It is in offshore accounts. It is in the pockets of the founders and the early investors who sold their shares to the suckers who came in late. They didn't build a product. They built a mechanism to transfer wealth from the hopeful to the shameless. The goal was never to build an AI that could code. The goal was to build a valuation that could be sold. The app was a prop. The code was a prop. The humans in India were props. The only real thing was the wire transfer. And the craziest part? The architect is probably already working on his next pitch deck. He won't call it an app builder next time. Maybe it will be biotech. Maybe it will be fusion energy. He'll stand on a new stage in a new expensive shirt and tell a new room of greedy sheep that he has invented magic, and they will believe him. Because they want to believe. The lie is comfortable. The truth is work. So when you look at the headlines tomorrow and you see another company raising $1 billion for a technology that sounds too good to be true, don't look at the smiling CEO. Don't look at the flashy demo video. Look for the curtain. Look for the wires. Look for the exhausted human being hiding in the box, pedaling the bicycle that keeps the lights on. The machine isn't rising up to destroy us. The machine is just us, trying to scam each other forever. And the game is just getting started.